Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, well, maybe today and tomorrow, because we're gonna be doing an overnight cook. And I'm gonna be using my Char Griller Competition Pro. It's an offset smoker, and this thing is a workhorse and a beast. What we have going is something so special. First, we're gonna be cooking a whole packer brisket, 10 pounds of beautiful beef. Then we're gonna be cutting into that brisket into some slices, and we're gonna be making a sandwich called the Mean Mark. Yes, I'm so selfish that I named it after myself. I cannot wait for this cook. It's gonna be so exciting. Let's get started. The Mean Mark sandwich is an inspiration that I got, and I can't wait. And I'm not gonna divulge all the information right now, because as the video goes is when you'll get more information. So just kind of a little teaser, but the Competition Pro is an excellent cooker. And we have so much grill estate. What I mean by grill estate, we have so much room, like real estate for the grill, to put this baby on. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. Let's hop into the kitchen. We're gonna take a look at this full whole packer brisket, and we're gonna trim some of that fat, and we're gonna get it ready as we prep, because I'm gonna wake up at midnight tonight and we're gonna throw this thing on. We're gonna be running at about 275, and hopefully it'll cook in time for dinner. Last time you saw me in this corner of the kitchen, we had a pig up here. That's because we were cooking some pig. Well, I swapped it out with a little cow because we are cooking beef. There will be some pig involved, but mostly beef. Now, I want to introduce you to the star of the show, this beautiful 10.47 pound USDA prime brisket. Let me show you what it looks like. And this is the I've had a quick costume change, added my apron here with, of course, the Grill Mark logo on it, because we want to make sure that we're branded across everything. And I also got my whooshed off boning knife. Now, we have the whole packer here, and what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be trimming off a lot of this fat and shaping it out, because we want to make sure that we have about a 1/4 inch to maybe a 1/2 inch of fat across the back. We're gonna be trimming this off, cutting this part here. I'm basically gonna be a surgeon with this knife, and if only fat were that easy to remove on any other way. So we're gonna be doing that. I'm gonna show you how to trim it up. So when you're trimming a brisket, there are lots of experts out there. I am by far no expert when I'm trimming a brisket, but I do like to follow a lot of people that I consider experts, like Aaron Franklin, people like that. And something he's gonna tell you is that on the leaner part of the brisket right here, you want maybe that 1/4 inch of fat across, because this is a leaner part of the meat. And then when we get to the thicker part of the meat here, we wanna cut a lot of this fat off. And we can see that that fat falls over here, so we're gonna cut some of that out, cut some of this out, and we're even gonna get in right around here, and we're gonna cut some of this fat vein out as well. Let's get trimming. So we're done trimming. Took us about maybe 10, 15 minutes, and we trimmed a lot of this nasty fat. It's just not gonna be good anymore. So our next step is to put a rub on it. Now, there are lots and lots and lots and lots, and I mean lots. Did I say there's lots of barbecue rubs out there? You have some that are top tier, you have some that are like in the dollar bin at Walmart. We're just gonna be going Texas style, and we're gonna be going a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a 50-50 mixture. That's it. It's gonna be simple, and we're gonna cover this in that, and then we're just gonna put it back in the fridge until we put it on the smoker. So I just finished putting the brisket with its rub into the fridge, and we're gonna bring it out in about 1 hour, and then in about 2 hours, I'm going to start my fire in the offset smoker and bring it up to 275. I'm using oak wood and some lump charcoal tonight, and that's it. We're gonna get that clear smoke going through, and then I'm gonna have to wake up every few hours to make sure that the smoker's maintaining at 275. And then we'll pick up tomorrow morning and we will see where we are with the temperature and everything else, because if you've ever cooked a brisket, you know that there's a stall at about the 165 point. So I'm sure we're gonna hit that with this one. Every brisket I've ever done has had it. So we're gonna hopefully hit that, and like I said, hopefully this cook will be finished by dinner tomorrow. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and less than an hour ago, I just pulled off the brisket, which means it cooked a little over 10 hours. Now, I've been up all night watching the Competition Pro, building that fire and making sure that the brisket is done correctly. Now we have another feature that we have to do for this Mean Mark sandwich. Let me, don't tell anybody, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Come here, come close. The next part of the Mean Mark sandwich is mac and cheese. That's right, mac and cheese. And everything you see here, we're gonna throw in here, and then we're gonna put on the smoker outside. So to get some really gooey cheesiness, I have some Velveeta cheese, okay? Next, we've got 3 pads of butter, just because butter makes everything good, right? Next, just some mild cheddar cheese, nothing big, because all this is gonna pick up a smoke flavor. So we're just gonna sprinkle that across the top. Looking good, looking good. Okay. Next, we have the cheese packet that came with it, and I'm just gonna somehow squeeze this across the top as well, like so. Perfect. That's about 37 different cheeses. Next, whole milk. I'm gonna add that in. Again, this is gonna make it some creaminess. Okay, not a lot. Put some pepper. Good. We have some salt. This is just sea salt, nothing special. And then I'm gonna use Bad Byron's butt rub. We're gonna put a little bit of that in there because that's gonna add just, you know, a little bit more barbecue flavor. Okay. And then finally, I have some pre-cooked bacon. I chopped it up, and I'm gonna put this on top. That's right, I said earlier in the video, we're gonna have a little bit of pork, and it's bacon. I mean, you probably figured that out because bacon makes everything better. So, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take this beautiful, weird concoction of food, I'm gonna go set it on the smoker. So let's go outside and do that. This smoker has been rolling all night at about 250 to 275. It's fluctuated in and out as I've had to add more wood to it, and I just used seasoned oak, that was it. And some lump charcoal, but that's oak as well. So now I have this thing screaming, which screaming for an offset smoker is 350, maybe higher. So we're gonna put this on and we're gonna let this sit and just absorb some of that smoke. So watch the cool part here as the smoke comes out of the chamber. Perfect. And we're gonna set this in there, and that's all just gonna melt. We'll check back on it in about 15 minutes and see how it looks. And if it's looking good, we're gonna do the last part, which is toasting the bread and making this Mean Mark sandwich. So we have a few more minutes left on the mac and cheese as it's out on the smoker. And so what I wanna go ahead and do is this brisket has been sitting in the cooler for, I don't know, over an hour now. And I'm gonna go ahead and slice into it and see how it looks. So I've only taken it off the smoker. I didn't wrap it. I did hit a stall, but we got through it, and it has some beautiful bark. So let's take a look at this. Now remember, all we had was salt and pepper as the seasoning and the smoke as the third seasoning, and you can't get much better than that crust, that beautiful bark right here. And it's soft to the touch. You see it jiggles. Do you see that jiggle? Here, come in closer right here. Watch the brisket jiggle, as they call it. There it is. Look at that. Getting jiggly with it. So now I'm gonna slice into it, and we're gonna even just try a bite. We have basically brisket perfection here. So we're gonna slice into it and kind of see how it looks. See the smoke ring we got. And I'm cutting against the grain, remind you, because that's gonna help keep that juices locked in there. And just based on this, I can tell you already. Beautiful piece of brisket. Now I do have a lot of fat on there, but that will come off. It is moist. This is good. For giggles here, we're gonna do the typical brisket squish. Here we go. It's been about 30 minutes. We're gonna check on the mac and cheese, see how it's looking. Let's take a look. It's looking nice and creamy. Looks like it picked up some good smoke. The last part to our cook today is we're going to be toasting our bread, and I'm going to be using my Flavor Pro again. I just started it up. Spray a little oil on here. And we're going to let that come to heat. I only have my 2 left burners on. We're going to get some good grill marks going across this way on the bread, and then we will put our sandwich together and take a bite into that mean mark. I've been toasting my bread just a few minutes. Let's take a look and see how it's coming along. So I have this griddle here. You should have some nice, beautiful grill marks on each side. Excellent. Now we're gonna take this and we're gonna piece together our sandwich. We're at the end zone. We are here. The mean mark is ready to go. So we're gonna piece this together really simply. We have our 2 pieces of bread, and here I have 3 giant slabs. Look at that bend, look at that, of the brisket. And then we have our smoked mac and cheese. God, that looks good. And what I'm gonna do is tap on there. And then we're gonna top it off. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the mean mark. I've got my slicing knife. I have my mean mark sandwich. I'm gonna slice into this thing. You may see it in slow mo just because of gooey deliciousness. And then I'm gonna take a bite and we're gonna see how it tastes. I have maybe had 3 hours of sleep. We started yesterday evening with preparing the brisket and then starting the fire and letting it cook all night, pulling it off about 8 a.m. this morning, letting it sit in the cooler for a few hours, and we finally reached the end zone for the mean mark sandwich. We have brisket perfection. We have mac and cheese creaminess. We have crispy bacon, beautifully toasted bread. Honestly, this might be the most perfect sandwich I've ever made in my life. And of course, you're gonna see me try it and you're just gonna kind of imagine what it tastes like to you. Wow. That's good. That's good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mean Mark sandwich. We started this journey yesterday evening, trimming the brisket, putting the seasoning on it. We took a beautiful cut from this cow, not this cow, but a cow, and we turned it into brisket perfection. This morning, we put together our mac and cheese with bacon topping, and we let it sit on the smoker and collect that smoke and use it as a flavor. And then we toasted our bread on the Flavor Pro, and we brought it all together for some beautiful barbecue magic. I'm so glad I was able to share this with you today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.